Like, if she's asking for it, okay, well, then you go. I understand that. Go for it. Fucking get down to the dildo store at fucking 9 a.m.
Peter.
Well, hey everybody, welcome back to the show, and we've talked a lot about Formula One in the last couple of weeks, haven't we? And I know there's quite a few fans that love the Formula One side of things, but I know there's a lot of dating scenarios, and we're going to talk about a bit of dating. Formula One has a 2-week break, so we're going to get into some good dating gossip podcasts here in the next few weeks, guys. We're going to do a recap, actually, of the dating nightmares. As I think most of you know, I'm doing a dating recap at the end of each month to see the wacky, crazy stories that are coming in, and just kind of giving you an idea. Hopefully I'm giving you an idea of where the dating is at, where we're at right now. And I know I've said this quite a lot of times, and some of you are probably maybe sick of me saying it, or maybe not. I've always said this. Before we get into it, I've always said this. Coronavirus was a year and a half ago. Over a year and a half ago. We all came back out of lockdown, all that shit. And here's the thing. In coronavirus, it didn't hit us the real impact of the dating world. It's only when you get back out into the normal world and the reality of what we should be used to, that's when you see the real impact. I kind of compare it to, like, it's like going to the gym, right? You go to the gym, you work out, you know, you're tearing the muscles because you're trying to build them, but you don't feel the tear in the gym. You feel it after the gym. Do you know what I mean? The impact comes afterwards, not when you're in there. So in coronavirus, we didn't feel the impact just right there and then as yet. It was afterwards. It's always the after effect. And this is the real coronavirus. But I think we're gaining ground here, guys. What I've seen here is, now we're going to go show you some wacky fucking stories here in a second. I mean, and there's some people out there that are still horrible as fuck to each other. I think there's a lot of people that are still stuck in remote working right now. And they've never left coronavirus. I'm telling you, if you're remote working, it's death to you, honestly. It's social death. Now, maybe there's some of you out there, of course, well, sorry, not maybe. Of course there's some of you out there that you're pushing yourselves, you're getting out there and you're okay. But what I'm seeing here is a lot of people at remote working, and I'm trying to get to the root of the problem here. Like, what the fuck is going on? Why are people so lazy right now when it comes to dating? Why are people being so nasty to each other? I mean, some of these stories, guys, it's fucking unreal. Now, you could argue, yes, of course, there's people like that before coronavirus, during coronavirus, after coronavirus, that they're nasty anyway. Of course. But I just think there's a lot of people that are just wound up, man. Wound up. And, you know, if you can get out of remote working, get your ass out of the house. I'm serious. Like, I'm not trying to order you, by the way, but I'm telling you guys, it's not good for anyone. Like, I even spoke to this lady there a few weeks ago, and she's a real social butterfly, this girl. Or a couple of months ago, sorry, because I was mentioning her on my other podcast a few months ago. Real social butterfly, this girl. Loves the booze, loves the parties, all that. And we were having a quick chat. So I asked her, I said, what did you think of remote working? And she said, oh, I loved it when I was in remote. I went, really? And I said, you know, like, because you're a social butterfly, you know, and I said this to the girl. She goes, yeah, I know. But I just kind of, you know, I got nice and relaxed, and I was in my tracksuit, or, you know, my sweatpants tracksuit, just nice and cozy at home, having a cups of tea whenever I want. And then she said, but the funny thing, Peter, is when I actually came back to work, it just hit me like a lightning bolt that I went, oh my God, what the hell was I doing at home? And she realized, oh my God, I need to be in the office. I need to be in the fucking office. And she never went back to remote working since. So it just goes to show you guys, like, this girl is a social butterfly. And I think what happens is you accept what you're in, you know, and you make the best of it, you know, and I don't blame anybody. You make the best of what you have. But it was only until she changed things up that all of a sudden things changed. So, okay, anyway, guys, let's get to it. This is going to be quite a bit of fun. Let me tell you, I'm just going to split my screen here, guys. Bear with me now. Okay, here we go. I'm just going to show you. This is my TikTok here. I'm just doing it on my desktop. So let's start off with, where do we have it? Oh, yeah, here we go. If you want to check it out, guys, it's on my TikTok anyway. So, excuse me. This guy, I mean, this story, guys, right at the start of September, this made me lose my faith in humanity when I heard this story. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. So, two girls, guy and girl, they're talking, they match, and he's chatting away to her. And by the way, this is for both guys and girls that think that this is very keen in a relationship. So the guy is chatting away to her, and he's one of those texters where he texts let's say he breaks up his messages. So I think we've all been there where somebody sends you one big long message, and look, let's be honest, we all kind of go, oh, Jesus Christ, there's a lot of reading here, But, we'll still read it or whatever. But this guy, his approach is, okay, instead of sending one long one, I'm going to break it up into 3. So he breaks it up, he sends the first, 10 seconds later he sends the second, and whatever, 10, 15 seconds later he sends the third. Now this is all in one time lapse here, guys. So in other words, I don't know how long it took exactly, but let's say it took him 1 minute or 1.5 minutes altogether to type out the whole thing. But in that 1.5 minutes, he sent all 3 messages. So it's not like he sent 3 messages spread out throughout the whole day. 1 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon, 1 at nighttime. No, he just sent them one after another. And the girl comes back and she says, listen, I know you're very keen. And he's like, what? And she thought he was very, very keen and desperate because he sends 3 long fucking messages. Like, they're having a conversation. By the way, here's the context. They're having a conversation about something, right? He didn't want to tell me, but they're actually getting into a conversation. So he's given his point of view where they're almost kind of having a bit of a debate about it, he said. So that was cool, a nice healthy debate, a bit of banter, a bit of back and forth. All good. And then she comes back with that. Now, is she just bluffing him and secretly she's got a boyfriend or husband in the background? Maybe. Does she just had no interest in the first place and she was like, whatever, fuck off, who cares? But if this is true, that she actually thinks he's too keen, she even said the words, by the way, guys, listen, you seem too keen. Where are we going? I genuinely thought that this story was a joke. I thought it was a joke. And maybe it is. Sounds legit to me though, because what he was talking about, and I obviously didn't put in the whole thing into social media because it's too long. But where are we going here? And you know what I think is going on? Is that I think the psychology part of this, if you break it down. Number 1, she was interested in him. Number 2, she was getting a bit nervous. And she was getting a bit scared that, I could like this guy. I could really like this guy. And subconsciously, she decides, you know what? Fuck it. No, I can't handle this. She got spooked. She got scared. And she has to, subconsciously, probably without her even knowing, she just had to, you're too keen. You're too keen. So she has to make up some scenario to put it back on him, and it's all him, and he's this and he's that. But actually, really, at the end of the day, she's just scared out of her fucking mind. And I know guys and girls can be both scared, all right, so I'm not picking on anybody here. She got spooked subconsciously, and she just, in a delusional way, made up some fucking weird scenario, right? Picked at anything. So, and I think that's an important thing to address, guys, because I think a lot of times that sometimes we think, oh my God, is she this picky, or what the fuck did I say? You know, a lot of these scenarios, it's not about us, it's about them. And where are they coming from? It makes sense if you break it down. Why would anybody jump to that conclusion? It sounds nuts, right? Well, is it? I've always said this. If something doesn't make sense, it's only because you don't know the motivation of that person. You don't know what they're up to. You don't know what they want. We assume that they want to be in a relationship with us, or they want everything to be nice and pie and everything's all cuddly wool and cotton wool. Great. But maybe they don't. There's plenty of people out there with the motivation to burn and destroy people, like. Plenty of people out there. So, I mean, it was hilarious when I heard the story at the start, but, you know, I don't want to get too serious today. We'll keep it nice and relaxed. So, okay, so that was the first one, and let me tell you guys, Peter. Walsh.